Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome. Dela writes, remember the two elders who disappointed Oni of Ife and Queen Naomi during the third full moon ritual that, almost cost them that ritual. Now we got a report that one of them died mysteriously, body turned dark and all of that. Now the second one, Chief Agbola, they said that one ran again to meet with Reverend Esther Ajayi, that the family went with him to meet with Reverend Esther Ajayi to beg for forgiveness and to confess what happened for fear of being attacked the same way his counterpart was attacked. And, I don't know why that one is still there, but of course they said he ran to go and meet with Reverend Esther Ajayi to confess, which he has done. I'm going to bring all of that during the course of this video. When people begin to think that they have the right to push people's destiny, they have the right to decide on the lives of people, they pay. There are consequences for sins like this, because if you truly believe in your culture, believe in your tradition, believe in the gods, your gods, you will not be doing this because you know that it will come for you. Dela writes, welcome back. I appreciate you guys so much. Okay, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Dela Ram. I bring you fresh and spicy gist from the sources, still on the royals. How are you guys doing? I appreciate you so much. I love you, show. I do well with my people. You're yet to subscribe, kindly go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell, and do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Now, they say one of the elders who disappointed the Oni of Ife during the sacred full moon ritual, was Agbola, Chief Agbola, a man once known for his unshakable stance in the royal council, but whose recent actions reveal a dangerous alliance. His sudden, mysterious, the sudden and mysterious death of the other one just, few hours, a day ago, has come to show that something was wrong, and because of that, everyone was scared, especially his family members were scared for him. Yeah, they said the moment he heard of the other person mysterious passing, panic set in. He knew deep down that he had what he had done. He knew they had gone too far, and worst of all, knew that the consequences of meddling in a ritual of that magnitude, particularly with malicious intent towards Queen Naomi, could trigger irreversible spiritual consequences. And so they said he had initially maintained his silence, appearing unbothered, but the moment the other person's body darkened, he saw the other person's body when the mortuary people even rejected the body, he became very, very scared for his own life. According to what they are saying, they said that he has started experiencing strange happenings, severe hallucination, shadows moving in his home, ancestral chant echoing through his dream. He became restless, screaming at night and speaking in languages no one understood. It was then that they made a frantic journey to Reverend Esther Ajayi's church in Lagos uninvited. The moment they saw Reverend Esther Ajayi, they had so much to say, because apparently he has told his family everything that has happened, everything that transpired on that day. Now, because he knew the weight of what they had done and understood that his own fate might be next, within 2 days, he began seeing terrifying visions. As they are saying, the son is saying he was hallucinating. He's seen terrifying visions. He claimed he was, being followed by dark shadows, haunted by drumming sounds in his compound, and hearing, the other person's voice crying out for help. The other man, that Baba, that died. According to this one, he said that he's hearing that man's voice crying out for help, okay, warning him that the fire they called upon had come for them both. And that was what drove them to Reverend Esther Ajayi's church, if the information is correct. They say usually for anybody to see Reverend Esther Ajayi, you wait for appointment and all of that. But he didn't wait for an appointment. He burst into a week church service. That was, they said, yesterday. Dropped to his knee at the altar and wept openly before the congregation. Yeah, before Reverend Esther, I have offended the throne. He cried, I betrayed the sacred covenant. Queen Naomi is not an ordinary woman. What we did was wrong, and now my soul is in danger. That was what the man was crying and saying when he met with Reverend Esther Ajayi. Now, Reverend Esther Ajayi has got an amazing relationship with the Oni of Ife, as in she is the godmother of the Oni of Ife. So you can understand why it does seem as if these people find it very easy to go meet Reverend Esther Ajayi. They say Reverend Esther Ajayi was visibly stunned. The church fell silent. The atmosphere grew heavy as the man, once proud and highly feared in the traditional circles, sobbed and begged for deliverance. It took minutes before he could even speak properly, his mouth trembling with emotion and fear. It was the son who was speaking on his behalf. In the church private prayer room, he revealed a terrifying truth. Both he and the other chief had been bribed and manipulated by two notorious senior figures in the inner palace, council. High Chief Olajide Orowolo, feared spiritual, tactician and strong opponent of Queen Naomi's return, who had always believed that if Queen Naomi regains her place beside the Oni of Ife, the influence of traditional elders would weaken. Another person again is Chief Ajani Elubobom. Elubiobom. Elibiobom, okay, and S. Ifa priest, stone power broker, whose interest in the Oni's court had always revolved around control, dominance, and maintaining the influence of a secretive traditional fraternity, okay? Now, they said that this chief claimed they were paid handsomely, not only in money, but with promises of land allocation, spiritual artifact, and alleviation within, their own individual elder councils. They were told that Queen Naomi's return would destroy the old balance of the throne and open up a new spiritual order they could never control. So the plot involved, tainting the ritual incense with forbidden power from an ancient shrine in Ketu and replacing one of the sacred, moonstones with a replica crafted in Ijebu. The goal was to spiritually misalign Queen Naomi and ensure she could never successfully reconnect with the throne, even if she appeared present physically. That was the goal. And because of their greed, they went ahead and they did it, and that is what is haunting them now. And that was why this one ran to Reverend Esther Ajayi. I say, whatever you sow in this war, you will reap. I'm going to bring you guys more update. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.